I just wanted to point something out. There are still many people that aren't really all that knowledgeable about certain things. And, if you don't have a loved one or a classmate or anything that deals with this sort of thing, you may not know about this and everything. And it would be cool. They should probably have mental health things and related things to behavioral stuff and, differing minds, and there should be more taught about that. It should probably be just something it would be awesome if I would have known about things earlier on and everything, if different people knew about different all sorts of things you can have. But I just wanted to point out, a lot of times you'll see somebody just sort of not understand and be like, well, you don't, this person doesn't really seem autistic and everything. It's not like this other person. And that's very much telling of things. It's not always gonna be just like flashing lights that tell you, and everything. Like there really are so many polar opposites in everything. It can be like just about like in every example possible and stuff. They could be like almost polar opposites. Whether it was like you grew up with some sort of, you know, other learning problems or anything, or if you, have, stimming, um, like meltdowns, get, stressed, social situations. That's the thing for most people do have a little bit of the, not really understanding the social uh, web and everything. But that doesn't mean like everyone does that's autistic. And then also, like just like pretty much any example, sensory issues, just like social anxiety. You could be socially awkward, but also be very outgoing. There's so much variety. Like I'm trying to think of other stuff. Yeah, the sensory issues, stimming, all that. Um, Different things. I just wanted to point that out. There really are so many that are just so different. Eye contact, yeah, like that's a big one for me. Like that was one of the first things where I was like, because I didn't know a lot of people that were like that, you know, uh, in my years and everything. And that was one of the first things I kind of like learned about, and I was like, okay. And then it just really just went from there. I was like, oh, all of these boxes are pretty much checked, right? So, different things. A lot of us explain just feeling sort of outcast, feeling sort of like extraterrestrial, like as growing up and stuff and not understanding why. And then again, if this was taught just like as a why can't I think of the word? I hate not being able to think of words. And that's a problem that I can't think of this word. Mandatory. If it was like something that people, it would be good for so many people learning so many things, be like, whoa, that might explain this. But anyway, and then also just like pointing out that like really some people may have this idea like on one side or the other. It can just like so many other things in life. I love reflecting on this, just like looking at different perspectives and seeing, yes, the yin, the yang, the dark and the light with the light within it and the dark within it and everything, and the gray area to these things. Like there's very much, certain things like, yes, I wish that I didn't get so stressed out by certain tasks that, people deal with easier. But some people, not every person that's on the spectrum is going to be some like innovative genius or something, but they do exist. I'm certainly not one, but I do believe that this is part of this, and things are it doesn't have to be some rigid thing where it's like this is labels and everything, but it can really help. It could be, I do like my labels because it's like it helps define. It's like this is a big part of my life and everything, just learning things about myself, and it can help, and also it can teach people. But yeah, I do think that this part of me is a reason why I have this like aptitude in music, in patterns and everything. Just especially just the odd meter stuff and polymeters and everything, just being able to do multiple rhythms at once and everything. And of course you don't have to be autistic to do that, but a lot of people like me that are have an obsession with these things, you know, where it's just like constantly just wanting to hear it, wanting to do it with our all our limbs. Like even like I don't have a drum kit right now, and I grew up more with guitar. I wanted to do bass, but then I switched. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do. I didn't ever get a bass, but guitar was the beginning. But I also I love everything. I wish I could like have an oboe and be good at it. I don't think I'll ever really be good with woodwind instruments and wind instruments, but different things I would like to be able to do, like different things, but like really with the drum part, and you know, guitars with djent to go along with drums, you know, those odd rhythms and everything, and it's just very pleasant. I love a lot of instrumental stuff where it can just like, ooh, I got a little bit of a abdominal pain. But certain things, I don't want to go too far into that and get a, you know, there's, I don't know that many people here that are interested in the same things and everything. I do have, you know, I have like one, two friends that sort of, you know, have that in similar stuff. But there are also, this is a great time for, you know, modern times and everything. There's, again, yin yang and gray area, but there is some good because you can, with social media, it can be a real downer sometimes. Certain things, all the, you know, people faking things or whatever, and people like me don't understand that. I cannot be an actor if I tried, like, literally, and just like being a liar or trying to be something that I'm not. It's just a really, it's such a natural thing. I'm going to just be like, here it is. Here's everything. I very much know I'm a compassionate and kind and empathetic person and everything. But I also, you know, and I'm not going to like bash someone. I know not to be like, I can be honest, you know, it's a good combination of honesty and not being a total jerk or anything, right? But yeah, it's just with that there are, you know, there's a lot of social media, there's a lot of stuff that can be a downer and everything on social media, but there are also Facebook groups, you know, Discord, Reddit, whatever, different places where you can find people that like similar things. I started a group. I don't really know. I guess I could try posting it in other groups. It feels a little weird. I think I did it like to one, but I made one for these genres and everything. I don't need to make one for RPGs or anything. I'm in a few. But yeah, similar things. That's another thing that I've always been into, like, you know, different fantasy stuff, just that very specific sort of old school geek stuff. I've never played like tabletop D&D, but like all that stuff from, or like HP Lovecraft and different, you know, Tolkien, whatever, just like, you know, Norse mythology, all sorts of mythology. But like not that I don't, that's the thing, that's one thing I don't have. I do not have that photographic memory, perfect memory. I actually have memory problems. So like I can have very like have these passions, these interests and everything, and I will read a lot. Like I'll watch the Elder Scrolls videos about all the lore and everything, but I can watch them over and over because like I don't really retain it that well. That's one thing that I don't have. Some people, that's a very special thing with certain autistic folks that like are just they'll like, oh, what did you do on, you know, like September 2nd, 1982, and it's just like oh, let me recount this entire fucking day. It's crazy, dude. There are some cool things out there. So many abilities, so many, again, the variety. That's not me at all. Some people, you know, there are so many levels to things, and people need to learn about all sorts of things, or at least, like, if you suspect certain things, like, at least try to, like, understand people more and everything. Different things. It could be very positive to just open your mind and learn about different things, right? But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to say that. So much variety throughout this, just like there's so much variety throughout any, you know, demographic, any group of people. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. There's not just one, you know, one statue of everything. It's all sorts of stuff. But yeah, love, I hope you have pleasant times.